Bo Wolf and EJ Smith, and we roll no less than 30 deep here on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Coming up next with a loopy Tuesday, dissecting the A.J. Brown situation, hearing from Brandon Graham, and much more coming at you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles show live from the Xfinity studio.
We are back on the PHLY Eagles podcast from the set of
It's Bo Wolf. It's EJ Smith. We're here. We're loopy, and we're ready to go. How you doing?
Speak for yourself. I wouldn't say I'm loopy.
Oh, I mean, we got our dirty chais, our iced dirty chais going on here. You're not loopy,
And they weren't spicy enough. So I was actually going to bring in the dirty chai end of like a bottle of Tums as like a joke for it being spicy. But nah, this one's pretty tame. So
pretty weak.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
We had there's a nice good text thread between you, me, and Fran.
Yes.
And it was very active last night. And you were just DOA?
DNT? Yeah, did not text.
DDT?
It was at like 9:35.
Not DP.
Not.
That's an Eagles joke. Come on.
We're getting started
Double
early
play. It's baseball season.
With the loopy Tuesday. Have you ever seen the person? It was like a TikTok trend. She was talking about Dr. Pepper. She said, I can't say it. I'm not going to say it on the podcast. No.
You got to say it now.
She said she was a Dr. Pepper girly, but she used the initials. Oh, man. We are off to a bad start. I don't even remember what I was out early last night. I was DNP in the text at around 9:35. I was tired. DNP washed. Yeah, we've already said that I'm part of the washed crew.
Okay. Well, Fran, I'm always here for you. Lots to get to on this show. You talk to the coordinators. I want to hear. I'm coming in cold on this, so you can totally fill me in.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. We're gonna try to make sense of the A.J. Brown situation. A lot of speculation. He hasn't spoken yet, but we'll try to make sense of it. We will hear from Brandon Graham to sort of explain what it's like in the defensive line room when guys are like fighting over sacks. You know, like I touched him first and then he submitted to the league. So that's a fun little behind closed doors discussion. And of course, we're hearing from you, the sickos, live here in the chat. Why don't we start with the coordinators? Do we start with Vic? I heard it was a little terse today.
Yeah, no, he was definitely short. Even for his standards, he was very terse. Just 3 4-word answers for everything. I don't really know what to make of it. I wouldn't read too much into it. But yeah, no, some of the things I had from Vic, we can kind of go quickly through Vic, and then we can go through Patullo with probably more of the quotes. But I did enjoy. He mentioned that I don't have who the coach was that he said this to him originally, but he said that rookies. He used to hear an adage that rookies equal 1 loss. Like for every rookie you play in your defense, just count a loss right there. Talking about how Fran coined it. Yeah. Rookie's gonna rookie. Yeah. Talking about the mistakes that you're going to get from those players, but he said he doesn't quite believe that's ridiculous. That's not the right calculus in his
well, yeah, because first of all, how many teams go undefeated, and so you can just pretend that one of the losses was for a rookie. Well,
I think Fran was right when he says rookie's going to rookie, and in another world, an explosive like that could cost you. So
sure.
But in the same vein, he said that Makuba be playing in the base defense was because they're going to move forward with Andrew Makuba as more of a full-time
safety.
And of course,
if you haven't seen this, for the first 3 games of the season, it was split between the nickel and the base with Andrew Makuba and Sidney Brown. And in this most recent game, it was just Andrew Makuba.
Fran points out it was Bud Grant that VIc Fangio coined that phrase from. And yes, I do not know who Bud Grant
is. It Bud Grant or Grant Bud?
I couldn't tell you. And it is probably because he coached before I was born.
Yeah.
I found it interesting. Vic talked about Jalen Carter's shoulder, and they've used the term calm down with his shoulder a couple of times now. Like, basically, like it flares up. If he does something to aggravate it, he needs to come out and let it calm down a little bit. So
weird.
Yeah,
like,
it's
what is it, a colicky baby?
I don't know. It is interesting though, because it basically Vic said like he's just going to play through it and they're going to have to manage it. So it's a little bit concerning. You know, I wrote this in the early bird, like, do the Eagles need to give Jalen Carter and Landon Dickerson just a couple weeks off? My guess is that both of those injuries are not the types of injuries that benefit from like a few weeks. They probably both benefit from off seasons.
Yeah.
Whether it's surgery or just like an extended period of time, especially Landon's, like, you know, I imagine surgery is what will probably fix a meniscus injury of like of that severity. And I think that it probably is what it is.
But if Jalen Carter's shoulder needs a couple plays to calm down, how about a couple weeks to calm down?
Yeah, but he had time off in training camp.
Yeah.
And he has talked about he can play through it. It's just if he aggravates it. But again, we'll probably spend some time today talking about the Eagles' lack of dominance up front on both sides of the ball, and that's a big part of it.
All right, what else from Vicky Dickey?
He didn't rule out that Keely Ringo could play his way into just keeping that starting job. And he compared Bo Nix to Baker Mayfield. He said that Bo Nix reminds him a lot of Baker Mayfield. Said that him and Sean Payton are old friends. He had very nice things to say about a Sean Payton offense. You know, how multiple it is, how they have different schemes from different looks. And then unprompted, I really enjoyed this. I think everybody did. Unprompted at the end of his press conference, he looks around and he goes, I mean, nobody asked me about this, but, you know, you guys didn't bring up the kicking balls. So for our listeners who are not like up on all of the latest NFL rule changes, this season, the NFL allowed special teams, like basically like there's always 6 balls that are dedicated for the kickers, for the specialists. And this season they reverted a rule that I think was implemented a few years ago that basically before, kickers could only work on the ball for an hour before kickoff. They could scuff it up. They could get it to whatever condition they liked. Now they can do that for the entire week. And what we're seeing is an uptick in like long range kicks because of the fact that these guys can doctor these footballs. They can do what they want throughout the week to make them fly just that little bit longer. It stood out to me because I've been making note of like how far Jake Elliott's kicking pregame each week, and each week it's 65, and it's like with a few yards to spare. And
I would love to get the deep dive and tell me if this has already happened on like what actually goes into doctoring the ball.
I think there are stories. So I saw Brooks Kubena from The Athletic he shared a story he did before I think the rule change.
Okay, and
I think he mentioned like microwaving the football.
Okay,
so I'm sure there's a lot of witch doctoring stuff that you're doing with these things. So yeah, Vic's not happy with it. He's fed up with the added distance. He's like, we gave up a 65-yard field goal, and it was funny because he's like, he goes off on like a 2-minute tangent about this. And Michael Clay is just sitting in the back of the auditorium.
Oh, that's funny.
Because Michael Clay's press conference is up next.
Right.
So Michael Clay.
So Vic, he has to then answer for Vic. Yeah,
exactly. So like Michael Clay goes up to the podium, and I think it was Dave Zangaro was like, so Mike, what do you think about the kicking ball?
Right.
And Michael Clay pointed out that that the on-field temperature was 102 against the Bucs.
Yeah.
So it's early in the season. Warm weather, the ball travels more, but I do think that's something we're going to see is that these kickers can hit. And Vic said like that, the Dallas kicker, Braden Aubrey, he's like, that guy's going to hit one from like 70 plus soon. So definitely something to note. And Michael Clay said that I think he said like, someone asked him like, is it good for the game? And he's like, I mean, does the NFL want more points?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What did he say about your boy? The block punt.
Oh, yeah, he had some nice things to say about Cam Latu. But he really kind of just made it more about like the group as a whole in a way that was maybe a little disappointing for me in my Cam Latu appreciation.
All right, Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, so what I found most interesting about Kevin Patullo's press conference today, we can kind of go through some of the quotes about like the AJ Brown of it all. But I thought on the second half, what he had to say was interesting. And I thought, in general, some of the stuff he had to say about the Eagles' offensive identity really stood out to me, and the lack of identity, really.
Okay.
So let's start with what he said about the second half. He said, let me make sure I get the right one here. And this is the one I sent you, Andrew. He said, "We got off to a hot start and we were in a good place with the offense and a good rhythm. In the second half, we got off rhythm. When you get off rhythm, you really are kind of searching for that play to try to get the spark, to get back in phase. We just really didn't get back into phase." So to me, my read on that is like the Eagles don't know what it is that they can go to when nothing else is working. And he was asked about that. Like what buttons do you press? What levers do you pull when the offense is, off rhythm? And he said that's part of the process we're going through as a staff and as a team through these first 4 games and finding what that is.
Okay. I'm thinking of, I think this was a Deniz thing, I think from last year. I don't remember anything, but he can tell me on Friday, where like the Eagles had trouble getting first downs, but then when they would get if they just got one first down, then they would get a lot of first downs. Like they would just start rolling downhill. I don't understand why that would be the case.
I mean, there were times last year where the pass game, I kept using the word arrhythmic last year with the Eagles pass game, and I wouldn't.
Good word.
Thank you. I wouldn't quite say that's been the case this year. Doesn't feel like that big. Like, yeah, you mentioned like Jalen would talk all of last season about the first down. And it did feel like at times, like when they couldn't get something going, they just really couldn't get it going. I think this year, the run game is wrapped up so much more into it that it doesn't really feel like a pass game. Like, why can't they just stay in phase? It feels like the whole offense. Well, really, I think that all of this really comes down to this season. Like, they don't have a run game to lean on. Like,
right.
Again, last year's version of the Eagles, even early in the season, they would have had like a 7 or 8 minute drive in that fourth quarter. They don't have that this year. And I do wonder like if that's going to lead to like needing to lean on more of the screen game, more of the swing passes, getting guys out in space, or just like short passes, rhythm passing. Because I don't know. I don't feel like you correct me if you disagree, but I don't feel like that off rhythm notion that Kevin Patullo was talking about. I don't think that that's necessarily like a product of the passing game being disjointed at times.
I think it kind of is because if we're complaining about the lack of creativity in the routes the guys are running, and everything is curls and goes and slants, and people aren't like changing sides. We're not seeing mesh or anything like that. Like, I don't know. That seems like it's part of it, right?
Yeah, I think the way that the first 4 games have gone, I attribute it more to the running game. But you're right that like they don't have. I mean, mesh is the perfect example. They don't have that one passing concept where it's like we are going to call this and we're going to get 6 yards out of it, and then we're going to be rolling again. They just don't have that yet, and I think that's there. There has been this is like a natural process you expect from an offense early in a season, but it has been to an extreme that is a little bit. I mean, alarming is probably too strong a word, but it's eyebrow raising. Like how they go through these long stretches without figuring out what the answer is going to be.
And yet they've had 3 of their 8 halves. Have been like if you break all the games this season down by offense by half, 3 of them are in the top 20 performances, right?
Yeah, and that speaks to the talent and what the potential of the group can be. And I know that you're never going to play like a perfect 4 quarters, and I don't think we're really asking for that. I think we're asking for them to be a little
disparity between in 3 of the 4 games.
Right. It's like, can you just be wild. A little bit more normal when it's not going perfectly? And I think the lack of the run game for me, I mean, Fran broke it down great yesterday, showing how it's not maybe an easy fix because it is a little bit of everything. But I do think that the fact that when they do have the lead, because I think like the blueprint that they followed, like getting the lead early in the game, getting control of the game, like that they executed that really well.
Right.
It was the like now run to win the game, like that the second part of that equation that we hear so often, where you throw to get the lead and then you run to win the game. They just don't have that second part of the equation yet.
All right. Good stuff. We're going to take a little break, And after this, we're going to figure out what we think about the A.J. Brown situation. Andrew, again, great job on the show today, and I appreciate you inviting me over the other day for the Liverpool game. Unfortunately, I get over there and woof, lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find the game. I thought he was a big fan. It turns out I was the one who was fan fished, because if you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place, and the way that you watch is next level. It's the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. So clear it feels like you're in the stadium. On top of that, you get real-time notifications and live stats right on your TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multiview requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Next, we're going to talk about Ford and their all-new Explorer. That's right. It's America's all-time best-selling SUV, a legacy of family trust and performance with 3-row seating for up to 7 passengers. It comes with your choice of 3 different powertrain options and is available with rear-wheel drive or intelligent 4-wheel drive. The 3-liter EcoBoost V6 has up to 400 horsepower if you're looking for something sporty, or you could go with a hybrid model with up to 500 miles of driving range if you're after something fuel efficient. It also comes with Ford's terrain management system, perfect whether you're driving home in the snow, trekking across the sand, or even towing a trailer. You'll also be getting an advanced suite of driver assist features with Ford Copilot 360 and a large digital instrument cluster for that high-tech feel. Available with captain's chairs and plenty of storage space with the seats folded down, the new Explorer is truly a do-it-all SUV built for families but ready for adventure. For more information, visit your local Ford store.
Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, a couple super chats we can hit.
Some soupy soupies.
Some soupy soups. Chase Daniel Plainview, is DeJean the most famous DB Cooper? Have you ever heard of DB Cooper?
I've heard of DB Cooper.
I think it's probably Cooper DeJean at this point.
Yeah.
Suk D says, EJ, has anyone asked Sirianni why he is the most risk-averse coach in the league with this talent? The cowards draws, first down run percentage, etc., etc.
I mean, I think maybe not that bluntly, but honestly, if I'd have to wager a guess, I would guess that he'd point to the fact that he's 52-20. Especially because like his personality would be to lean into that. Yeah. I mean, it's hard at times to argue with the record, you know, like,
well, but there's nothing to compare it to. You know, it's possible that if he was more risk tolerant, that he would be, 60-15.
I mean,
whatever it is.
Aside from his first season, his worst season was 2023, when they were maybe a little bit more risk tolerant. I think. So this is actually a good segue into what we want to talk about, because I'm going to do something. We're going to try something new. I'm going to call it Declaration Day.
Oh,
like
day.
We don't have as much news, so this is kind of my chance to tell you. And I think it's like a good time because that Monday you're still kind of going through the film, you're digesting all of that stuff, all of the stuff you're watching, and then on Tuesday it's time to declare a couple things that you learned about the team.
All right,
so
stand back, let you cook.
The thing that, as we've kind of zoomed out of this game and trying to again pick up the pieces like what we've learned, I think there's one 2023 comparison that I will make some space for. I do not really think that the 2023 collapse is in play for this team in the sense of like they have a great defense. You can lean on the defense in a way you couldn't. You can lean on the special teams in a way that you couldn't in 2023. They've obviously proven that they can dig their way out of that rut, and the turnover aspect of it. Like Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown an interception this season in 2023, and even at the beginning of 2024, the turnover. The risk tolerance in the passing game was a big part of that. So that, to answer the super chat, like that is one area that like I do feel like that is a reflection of 2023 now, that the Eagles are more risk averse in the passing game in particular after that season.
I want to let you go. I just want to say I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that the turnovers from last year in the beginning of the season from Jalen Hurts were because they were being risk acceptant. It's because Jalen Hurts was making bad decisions. There's
Right.
and I know that that's part of accepting risk, but there's a middle ground where it's not just, well, we can't pass on, 3rd and 7 because Jalen might throw an extremely dumb pass like he did a couple times at the beginning of last season. If you believe that he has gotten better, which I
think
do,
both of us do.
then there is room to be more risk tolerant.
No, I completely agree. And I think that might be a necessary step in an offensive overhaul. We were just talking about like the Eagles' lack of offensive identity. I think you asked Nick about this yesterday. I think giving Jalen more might be part of that identity. I think it might be necessary. Now, the only 2023 comparison that I will leave space for, in light of the AJ Brown social media post, and just, you asked me on Sunday about like the vibe in the locker room, and I told you it wasn't quite as jubilant as you might have expected for beating the Bucs in a place that they have not been able to win very often. Like, there was definitely an energy that lended itself to like, this team still doesn't feel like it's playing up to its potential. Saquon Barkley and Nick Sirianni both talked about don't let good be the enemy of great. The space that I will leave for the 2023 comparison is the space where the frustration of things not looking the way that not the media, like we're going to put us aside, the frustration of it not looking the way that the players want it to look, boiling over and affecting the on-field product. We did see that in 2023. And I do think that, like, at least in the AJ Brown part of this discussion, you are starting to see that frustration turn into a tangible thing that the Eagles will have to sort through this week.
I think this is the important conversation that we need to have.
Yeah.
Now, let's acknowledge that there is always drama going on within a football team, whether it's aired publicly or not, and that doesn't have to necessarily take away from the on-field product. There was a lot of drama with the team last season, and they won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
That is accepted. But let's walk down the path here where that may affect the on-field product. And listen, we have talked about it for a long time. Most of the time, I think A.J. Brown is in the right. I think he is correct that he is being misused, and the team will be better off if they are giving him the ball. I don't know that I think that, putting out that tweet on Sunday is in service of, without talking himself, what's best for the team. And I also think he's very aware of what he is doing and, the conversation that that's going to lead to. And for him to do that when they're 4-0 tells you that there's obviously something going on. And so if this is a kind of thing that is reaching a true boiling point, what do you think that looks like?
It probably looks something like 2023, where what you heard after 2023, what came out afterward was a lot of like, they didn't take joy in winning. They would come into the building after a win, and the energy would be down. The energy would be like, I don't remember I think their exact phrasing was something about like they acted like their dog died. I think that was in a Tim McManus article from a few years ago. And I think like Nick Sirianni has harped on enjoying the win, like the joy of winning and, taking joy in that.
Yeah.
He's harped on that a lot since the 2023 season, and he's mentioned it in the last few weeks. So I think if that starts to creep in, that is when you get situations like AJ Brown, where he is. Again, it's a cryptic message. We can't know exactly what he meant by it. But again, to your point, AJ is very intentional with a lot of this stuff. He doesn't do these things without knowing how it will impact the people around him in the locker room around him. And I think he learned that from 2023. He handled things a certain way in 2024 in reflection of that. And I think it does speak volumes that he made that decision to post that, knowing all of that information.
If you had to guess which direction AJ is really pointing the finger.
You're putting me on the spot here.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an unfair question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I were going to qualify it, like with,
there's three choices. If it's an individual, and maybe it's not.
Yeah, I'm
maybe
just saying, like, at this point, I want to make it clear that like this isn't like informed speculation or anything like that. I would guess. It's probably a tandem of all three, but
yeah,
I probably would either lean Patullo, maybe Nick or Jalen. I think it's hard for AJ to really like single out Kevin Patullo as like,
I agree,
the one.
Yes,
he's got the long-standing relationship.
Well, plus this is a pre-existing frustration,
right?
That predates Kevin Patullo being the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't want to like stand on
It's
it
not
being
your. It's not
any-
yours.
Yeah, but
speak for him on.
I do think like that those dynamics are real. You know, like your podcast co-host Brandon Graham like mentioned it last year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think that gets repackaged, and this conversation might get packaged to say, like, people might say this is a stirred up media thing. It's like last year, BG said it. Like, you know, he was a captain on the team. Like, and this year, like AJ posted on social media. It's not like, you know, it's not like
it's
AJ
not a quote being taken out of context.
It's not like AJ said something in the post game locker room that we all then ran with. He literally posted. I mean, it was a cryptic message on social media. So I would push back on the idea that like this is like something that's being blown out of proportion in the public sense. I think that it's a window into something going on with the team.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And let's keep going down the path here. Do you think there's a chance that it could come to they need a divorce?
Maybe. I mean, it would be
this is untenable. This current situation is untenable.
Yeah.
Right? To be winning, to be 4-0 and have arguably your best player like discontented every week. That is not tenable.
But
and
like,
so either they got to listen to him.
Discontented too.
Yeah, for the most part. So either they got to listen to him, or like this is not going to solve itself. He's not going to just quiet.
Yeah. And it's like it's a hell of a thing. Like they're 4-0. They are probably the best team in the conference. But this is like, to me, to me, that doesn't invalidate the conversation, because what you just said is the point. It's like they can win games and guys are still unhappy. And this is like, not to sound like my predecessor here, but like the Pat Riley disease of me, where it's like when you win, people believe that their contribution to winning is outsized, is bigger than the winning itself. And like, I don't think I think that you can be reductive in your like evaluation of the situation. I think you could say like AJ should just be happy that they're winning. And like, I think that is reductive, because I think it could be a lot more nuanced in the sense of like, you want to contribute to winning. You want, like AJ came out this summer and said, I think I'm the best receiver in the NFL and I want to put a stamp on it. Like, and he talked about like the joy of winning a Super Bowl not being greater than the joy of having a defensive back across from him sink his head and go, I can't mess with this guy. I'm cleaning it up for the listeners. Like, that was his mindset going into this season. And like, I didn't hear a lot of people having an issue with any of those things when he said those things. But now that he's frustrated because he's not achieving what he wanted to achieve this season, presumably frustrated because it's a cryptic message, people now are taking some issue with it. And I understand it. I do understand it. But to me, it's a nuanced thing that is the product of winning games. You know, I said this to you before we came out on here. I tried to find the article that this came from, but it reminds me of Succession. Someone once described Succession as like a bunch of wealthy people in beautiful places that are miserable. Yeah. And it's like, you know, but that is like, that to me aligns with like the disease of me, where it's like when you win so much, sometimes the winning becomes secondary to the other things.
Right. And when you are accustomed to pretty much always winning, you know, it's less important. And by the way, I mean, listen, I know that this is ridiculous and it's fanciful, and you would never trade a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver. But if this is the way they're going to play,
you need to reallocate resources.
Maybe it would be better off getting different resources. Now, I think that's silly, but
it's at the beginning of a road, I would say. But I like, it's hard because you think about how this Eagles team is constructed, and like, there are spots where they have to get cheaper because of the fact that they have built such a dominant offense, a top heavy roster with those two guys out on the outside, and they're both making a lot. And you think about like, they've made concessions at other positions. I mean, edge rusher really stands out. And like, you know, you could make an easy counter like, well, if Bryce Huff had worked out, they'd look a lot better at edge rusher right now. But like, at some point, you're right. Like, your roster construction needs to reflect the way that you want to play. And if you aren't going to have an aggressive passing offense to take advantage of your matchup advantages out there, then what are you spending the money for?
Water gun to your belly button. A year from today.
Let me do turkeys on it.
No. Yes. This is yes or no. I mean, it's the same thing. It'll be 50-50. You'll go one way or the other. But water gun to your belly. Is AJ Brown on the Eagles on September 30th, 2026?
I wish you let me do turkeys on this. I might say no. I might say no. With the information we have now, I would say
It's
slightly
we're prisoners
leaning
of the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would say no also. That is so dumb. And by the way, here's the other thing that is getting totally washed over. And shout out to my buddy Derek for bringing this up. You know, you've made the thing about you know, AJ's less the diva, like some of the things that Devontae does.
Yeah.
All of the AJ conversation is ignoring the fact that are they wasting Devontae Smith.
Yeah. You know, I said this
And
on
he's
Anthony.
the guy who you said the Puka thing. Like,
Yeah.
he's the one that they can really move around.
Yeah, I said that on Anthony's show this today. Like, you see Puka Nakua's route tree, you see the way that Cooper DeJean was featured, or sorry, Cooper Kupp, not Cooper DeJean. Got my white Coopers mixed up. If you see the way Cooper Kupp was featured in the Rams offense over the past couple of seasons, like, there's no reason Devontae Smith can't do that. Like, he is overqualified for that. Well, he's qualified for that role. They just don't use him that way.
It's crazy. Like, he's absolutely, he can play everywhere. He can run every route. Like, he's the one, get him the ball. And then that opens things up. You know, I don't know.
And like, again, 4-0, and like this time last year, I wasn't as alarmist though. You know, like this time last year, I didn't think they were going to win the Super Bowl, but I did not like, I thought that they had time to figure out. I mean, I guess they have time now too,
Here's
but
the thing.
I was less alarmist last year for sure.
I see people in the chat are like, you know, we are fanning flames on something that has no life, and we're being reactionary, and this is why media is bad. I got to tell you, Earth to you, these are the conversations that are happening in the building.
Yeah.
Okay. So believe that or not, this is not the kind of thing where it is a media creation. It is the kind of thing where, like, everybody involved with the organization is like, what is going on right now? How can we fix this? And they're 4-0. It's insane. Anyway, good discussion. Let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to hear from Brandon Graham, live from the, or not live, but from the set of the Unblocked podcast, talking about some things going on with the defense, what's up with Jalen Carter, and some fun off-field stuff about, you know, life as a defensive lineman. Are you craving the perfect snack that satisfies your hunger and provides the right amount of protein to fulfill your body's daily needs? Well, if so, we've got the solution for you. It's Righteous Felon Beef Jerky and Meat Sticks. Righteous Felon traces its roots back to the hallways of Downingtown Middle School and was officially launched by lifelong friends in their apartment kitchen after college. The Exton, PA-based company has been making all-natural, premium quality, better-for-you meat snacks for over a decade and evolved into the region's preeminent jerky brand. The packaging is fun and engaging. The flavor is bold and tantalizing. The texture, tender and soft. These are, without question, the best meat snacks around. And I'm not just saying that, only a little bit, because they're paying us. What's more, Righteous Felon helps fuel your favorite Philly athletes by working with the nutritionists of each local pro sports team to provide jerky and sticks for players to eat before and after workouts as a refueling snack during games. If you're the kind of person who wants a deal and snacks delivered to your doorstep, you can order online at righteousfelon.com using discount code PHLY20 for 20% off. They have all kinds of cool variety packs and bundles on the site, so it's also the perfect gift for that special meat snack lover in your life. Again, that's discount code PHLY20 for 20% off your order on righteousfelon.com.
Got to go from one meat sponsor to another and talk to you about Omaha Steaks.
Meat.
We got a shipment from Omaha Steaks a couple of weeks ago. I had a ribeye. I put that thing on my Blackstone, a little salt, pepper, garlic, medium rare. Oh, man, I was in heaven. Omaha Steaks has handcrafted steaks and all of your delicious fall favorites. They deliver the world's best steak experience, and you can enjoy USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, plus tailgating favorites like chicken wings, smash burgers, and big deli style franks. For our next shipment, I'm really hoping to get my hands on some of those smash burgers. Again, throw them on the Blackstone. Everybody will be happy. We even have a mini buy coming up, so I'm going to get an opportunity to do that. So yeah, with Omaha Steaks, you're getting heartland quality food delivered right to your door. They offer unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. They're a family-owned company with over 100 years of experience in the meat industry. Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. You can visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. And for an extra $35, use promo code EAGLES at checkout. That's 50% off omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code EAGLES at checkout. See sites for detail.
All right. Time to head to Studio A, actually the Xfinity Lounge. Xfinity Lounge, the site of the Unblocked podcast, and hear from our friend Brandon Graham earlier today.
PHLY Eagles podcast from the set of Unblocked with Brandon Graham. It is Brandon Graham and BG. The Eagles, just like they were last week and just like the week before, still undefeated.
Yep.
Plenty to talk about, though. Let's talk defensive line because I think Eagles fans are, happy to be 4-0, but they're a little bit on edge about the edge, I guess. Agbo Okoronkwo suffers an injury, goes on injured reserve. Nolan Smith is on IR. The Eagles have just a half a sack on the season from their edge rushers. Is this something that you would be concerned about, or is it something that, preach patience?
I just say patience because Coach, he had to build with us last year.
Yeah.
And, of course, you ain't got some of the big names that we had last year. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you got to know your personnel, who can do what and what you – and I feel like Vic does a great job of asking players to do certain things. I mean, it could be a thing where Jahad go to an end and start pressing when Nolan come back, when you get N'Kobe back. I mean, it's so many different things that can happen. But it's just all about how they want to play the cards. And so I feel like Vic is the wizard with that. I'm looking to see how he adjusts because it's about adjusting. And then we got to stay healthy because we can't have too many people going on IR. And
all these triceps.
I know, man. That's a funny little one, too, because it's not often you got people hurting triceps. It's more biceps than triceps.
Okay. And you know all about it.
I know all about it. And that's if what's the name toured, he out for the year because it take 4 months.
Well, unless he pulls a U.
Unless he
pulls a U and gets back for the Super Bowl
and come back. But I think he'd be more in the clear if he come back. If he come back that time to because when did I do mine? I did mine November.
Yes.
And he did his September. Yes. So to give him at least 3.5, 4 months.
What you're talking about with Vic about him like understanding his personnel and getting to know it and then catering the scheme to everybody's skill sets. Do you find that is different than other coordinators you've played for?
Yeah, I just think that comes with the wisdom of being around ball for a while and just seeing certain body types of guys and being like, oh man, I coached a guy like you. I feel like this should be your position. You should do this. Like Zach Bond, I'm sure he's seen somebody of Zach's stature and how he plays and was like, man, let me move here. I didn't move that guy here, but I feel like you'd be good here. And, man, that was perfect. That was like love at first sight.
No doubt about it. And he was exactly right. It's
he
crazy.
Knew right away. He put him right there.
Insane.
Even though Zach was mad and didn't want to go.
Right.
But he happy now.
He sure is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing at a very high level, as is Jahad Campbell.
Yep.
Do you think that, like, we know Howie's always active.
Yep.
To me, if he's going to make a big trade, I think edge is possible.
Oh, yeah.
How difficult would it be for somebody to come in midstream and pick things up?
I don't think it would be bad. It's just more about just bring your skills. Your skills. That's all you need because Vic doesn't make it. He don't want to make it complicated, but you have to do your job. And in times where he lets you loose and you go rush is up to you. It's just knowing who your personnel is that's with you, like your D tackle that you're rushing against, how he likes to rush, and where are you supposed to be when we rushing together. You got to have that cohesive rush because if you have a B gap that's wide open, that's where I don't care if you win your one-on-one, that's where the quarterback can step up and escape the pocket. You want to be able to collapse a pocket on them. And when y'all all not on the same page, that's where it gets tough. And sometimes it just takes reps together to know how certain guys like to rush. Because I know Fletch likes to be in the B gap. that's outside the guard. He never really come inside of the A gap. You know, he really never went inside a lot unless it was asked of him to do that.
Okay.
But and me knowing that, I would play off him if I feel he gets too far up the field, I'll come up under him. Come under him.
You caught yourself.
You know, but I'll definitely replace him or where he was to try to fill the big hole that's that becomes when he goes too far up the field past the quarterback. And so that's where if he do get somebody, it got to be somebody experienced, which I know it will be. But that's what you got to fight against, like getting that chemistry together.
Do you think they need to do that? Add in somebody?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I think that Zadarius.
And I know everybody's thinking, "Oh, what about Brandon Graham?" But you're gonna have to watch Wednesday's episode of Unblocked to find out the answer to whether or not that's a possibility.
And by January, you let me know how that works.
How about Jalen Carter? Because he spoke after the game that he knows that his numbers are not where some people might have expected, but he's still making an impact. I mean, he's pretty obviously playing through pain.
He playing through some stuff right now. Oh no!
Oh, here we go again. Always this segment.
Hey, we did that.
What am I doing wrong?
I know. Hey, a couple of them. I had already held in mind. It was like you know how you breathe them down, but this time that thing just forced its way out.
Yeah.
But Jalen Carter, he's getting there. He's a warrior, somebody that's fighting through some stuff. Landon, same thing.
Yeah.
But it's gonna get better. Hopefully they get them that Thursday 10-day window where he'll start feeling a little better. But right now it's grind time.
What do you see from him, Jalen?
I see that they giving him a lot of attention. As you know,
I mean, he helps make that Morrow sack.
Oh yeah, that was a sweet little rush with them doing their stunt. And man, I was happy because that's what we got. You got to be selfless in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Jalen Carter to give up to take two and then let Morrow come around and get the sack. Of course, we're gonna give Morrow the sack.
Come up under him, you might say.
No. but
fill the big hole.
Fill the big hole. The hole that you create from going too far somewhere. But I know that. But Morrow always giving the praise. Like, man, I appreciate that. Like, you just want to. You just want to get that recognition from at least your teammate, if nobody noticed it. But Jalen Carter was definitely a reason why, because he got to take two.
Have there been times in your career where guys were less willing to do that dirty work for somebody else, or like really more arguing over sacks and stuff like that?
Yep.
Here.
Yeah, I know.
I see you. I see it.
You see me. And I told you it get like that. But if you know who was funny? We only had him for 1 year. Was Mike Bennett. Bennett definitely be like, yeah, BG, you go sacrifice yourself. I just come under and get the sack. Hey, my Michael Bennett boy, he definitely was. He used to be pimp.
And then what other people might not know is there is the, like, if you share a sack, or it's like two guys get there at the same time, there's then like sometimes they get sometimes who touched them first, right?
Or
and
like,
then that week you'll have like, I'll pay you if you let me have this sack, something like that.
Well,
right?
Well, if you can. So this will happen sometimes, because sometimes people don't want, like, you can't do it like that. But sometimes if you see that it was clearly your sack, but they gave him credit too,
right? You can submit it to the league.
You can submit it to the league, but sometimes you don't, because that's your guy. You like,
right?
Man, nah, I want him to get a sack or half a sack,
right?
Get on the stat sheet, but. Sometimes, like a Fletch, it don't matter if you're his guy or not. No, man, that's my sack. Which is cool, because
he's doing all the other dirty work anyway. If he gets there,
which I never took it personal on that, even though I used to take stuff personal. But I was like, look, man, sometimes you try to turn it in, and they still be like, nah, that's still his sack, or man, I've seen it where he turned it in and it became his sack and not his sack.
Right.
Like you tried to turn it in and get credit for you, and you already had credit.
Oh, he had a half, and he's trying to
you
get
got
the
half,
full,
and you want the
and
full,
then they give the full to somebody
and
else.
then they get the full to him because
Oh, that's funny.
it's like, well, yeah, he had majority of the sack, so that
Right.
really is his sack. And boy, oh man, could you just imagine like how hot you got to be when you think that
Yes.
you about to get the full sack and then you lose the whole thing
Right.
when you had a half.
Well, you think about it, right? It's after the season's over, nobody's going to be looking at those. They're just going to see the number. And so if you're a guy in a contract year, you might be more willing to.
And that's when I'm willing to help in that sense too.
Yeah.
Somebody that's trying to get paid. Me at this level, if I get a half with you and you feel it's yours, turn it in, man.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm 15 years in.
Yeah.
You know, it's all good. Like 70-something sacks already. I'm cool.
Is there one that you remember from your career that's like, I should have had this one, but I didn't submit it or something like that?
Oh yeah, it's a couple, but I just remember having those conversations. I can't remember specifically which ones, but
Okay.
I know that there was some in there. It's a lot of them that I missed. I said I wanted to get a highlight tape of all the sacks I missed and see what I would have had
Okay.
if I wouldn't have missed them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes he just get out. You like, how did he get out my hands like that
Yeah.
last play of the Super Bowl? I'm like, how did Brady shake me off like that?
Yeah.
You know, but it's all technique stuff. So I just want to get one of all the ones that I would have had.
That'd be good.
That'd be sweet. I said, then I really know the real number of what I would have had.
Right.
If that would have
right.
been a Hall of Fame year.
Okay. Good
or Hall of
stuff.
Fame career.
All right. That's it. Brandon Graham. Make sure you check out the Unblocked podcast on Wednesday. Lots of good talk about BG's future, here, all that good stuff. What's going on with the Eagles? You know, all the drama off the field, but an undefeated team, all that good stuff we get into. But for now, we will be back with more on the PHLY Eagles podcast.
For cozy season. During Ashley's fall savings event happening now, discover the season's warmest and coziest hot buys for every room in your home. From stylish living rooms to welcoming dining rooms to relaxing bedrooms, you'll find beautiful looks starting at just $299. And right now, buy today and pay later with no interest for 60 months because fall isn't just a season, it's a feeling. Visit your local Ashley showroom and start saving today.
Next, we're going to talk about Rothman. We've all been there trying to power through summer plans with a nagging injury or a stubborn pain. But when rest isn't cutting it, it's time to call in the experts. That's why we trust Rothman Orthopedics. Whether you're running on the beach, swinging your golf clubs, or lifting the little ones for a pool day, Rothman specialists are here to treat what's holding you back. Their top-tier care will have you moving and enjoying every minute of summer. Patients will find the full spectrum of orthopedic care at Rothman Orthopedics. From diagnosis to discharge, they provide their patients with every service and procedure necessary, such as x-rays, orthotics, bracings, MRIs, physical therapy, and more. Year over year, Rothman consistently performs among the highest volume of hip, knee, shoulder, and ankle replacements in the country, over 60,000. If pain is slowing you down this season, take the first step. Head to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and schedule your appointment today. Rothman Orthopedics, your summer, your mobility, their mission.
Get your home ready for cozy season during Ashley's fall savings event happening now. Discover the season's warmest and coziest hot buys for every room in your home. From stylish living rooms to welcoming dining rooms to relaxing bedrooms, you will find beautiful looks starting at just $299. And right now, buy today and pay later with no interest for 60 months because fall isn't just a season, it's a feeling. Visit your local Ashley showroom and start saving today.
I enjoyed that conversation that you had with BG.
I always like talking to him.
You seem like you'd be the type of teammate that would want to send in the sack to the league to try and get the full sack.
How dare you?
What do you mean? That's a very you thing.
How dare you?
That is a very you thing.
Take my sack, brother. You got it. I'm a teammate.
No, you know that you would be.
No way.
You'd be the sack stealer.
No way. Maybe if it was my very first sack or something like that.
The sack grabber.
No.
See, the chat agrees with
that
me.
one?
No, you have said worse about me on this podcast.
Clearly, Tom Brady on the broadcast on Sunday is the one who said that he is the sack grabber.
Yeah, that is true. And that was a wild admission. He has a wild admission every week. Every week.
Insane.
What was it? Who did he say? He said
I would
something-
never do that to my team.
Did you hear what he said about like kicking a dog? He said something about like kicking a dog like 2 weeks ago. He was like, that's one where you go home and you kick the dog. You're so angry. And it's like, no, like nobody does that. Like you're out here, like who's out here just kicking their dog? Not cool. Not cool, Tom Brady.
I take offense to that. All right, what else is going on?
I wanted to present something. So you're talking to BG and potentially future. We should probably talk about the Eagles' edge rusher depth.
I bet we should.
Yeah. So Obo Okoronkwo sounds like he's headed for IR with a triceps injury, which leaves them even thinner at a position that they were already thin. Maybe this will be Azeez Ojulari's pathway to getting on the field.
I mean, if he doesn't get on the field now, he's gotta just like storm out. Like,
yeah, but
what are we doing?
So if you look at their depth, it is not ideal. I mean, even like Jalix Hunt, he hasn't really flashed very much. You know, like they don't. I think it's the stat is that I think Zadarius Smith is the only one that has a sack among that group. So and it's a half sack for him. So
half sack. The Eagles have as many sacks as a team as Milton Williams and Josh Sweat have combined.
That's ironic. Yeah. Very ironic. Although Moro Ojomo, he's doing all right. He had a good game against the Bucs.
Yeah, he's well on his way to 20 sacks that you predicted.
To me, it's more of an edge problem than a defensive tackle
doubt.
problem.
No doubt.
So I'm going to present to you a trade proposal. And don't worry, chat. This does not involve AJ Brown.
Okay.
Where we've moved on. Would you trade Tanner McKee?
No.
For
no. The answer is no.
Trey Hendrickson?
No.
You wouldn't do that straight up.
Would not do it.
Do you think the compensation is reasonable? Straight up, no draft compensation on either end. Well, no draft compensation from the Eagles. We should
honestly,
specify.
No.
I should have known that you were going to come in on the strong. I had an impassioned conversation.
He's going to be 31 in December, Trey Hendrickson. You're going to
Bowl.
trade someone who has the value of about, at worst, I think, a second-round pick for 1 year?
So to me, I think Trey Hendrickson's probably worth it too. And I think Tanner McKee is also worth at least a 2. So there were people in the media house
One
today
thing that I
who
will
vehemently
say,
disagreed with me.
the one thing that I will say is that they do look like each other a little bit. And so from that standpoint, it's an easy deal.
I want to know what the chat thinks. If this maybe a little Fran bait, little Fran in the chat bait here. I need to know what some rational thinkers think of this trade proposal, because it is a little interesting to me. Now, I think you'd be selling.
That'd be a no for me, dog.
You'd be selling like a little low on Tanner McKee. Like, do you think he could be worth more in the offseason if he gets a chance to play it all this year? But if you get Trey Hendrickson back, you bolster that edge rusher rotation. I think it makes some sense. Now, I don't think.
Listen, I think Trey Hendrickson can probably be had right now, and I think the Eagles might be interested.
Yeah, I mean, so does Fran? Fran is in the chat.
He says, "Let's say you make that trade. If Hurts gets hurt, your season is tanked, even with Trey Hendrickson."
So I guess your argument is they could Nick Foles it with Tanner McKee as the backup quarterback. Like you still think their Super Bowl window is open?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna zag. I know this is the Tanner McKee podcast. I would do that trade. I mean, you haven't seen Sam Howell on this offense? No, even I don't believe that one.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
All right.
I'd rather trade the draft picks. I don't know. That's kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth.
Well, no, that's kind of like the other option is like you could just make it a 2.
Yeah, I think probably next week, maybe although next week's a short week, so maybe we don't have time for it. But at some point, we got to have like a trade discussion.
Yeah, I mean,
because as the Dolphins are losing, I know people are thinking about Jalen Phillips potentially.
Yeah. Yep.
Jalen Phillips, although he was there when that team hated Vic Fangio, so I don't know how that would go over. But listen, as teams are losing, teams that maybe thought they expected to be better, the Jets have some edge rush depth that could be interesting. I don't know. I expect Howie to make a trade.
Yeah, and I think edge rusher is a spot. I
You
mean,
think there's a chance it's a corner?
Honestly, increasingly more likely the way that the season's gone, but I still feel like they've got like Jacorian Bennett, as crazy as it sounds, like Jacorian Bennett going on IR does increase the likelihood because like they've got fewer sliding door scenarios to find that guy with Jacorian Bennett out. But I don't know. I still think that between Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson, you probably can find a guy you feel good about. I mean, like, I know that like that might sound crazy, but it's like, guys, like teams win Super Bowls with worse players than Keely Ringo or Adoree Jackson. You know, like it's
I agree.
like we have spent a lot of the show talking about champagne problems. Like you're not going to have Pro Bowlers at every position. You know, that is a champagne problem to have. So, but the lack of rush, the things that Vic Fangio has had to do to compensate for it, I think he is like a less edge rusher dependent defensive coach than most of the coaches we've seen with the Eagles. Like, you know, he doesn't have to have like that 4-man rush that can just win. He can cook up sim pressures and, you know, have Zach Bond or Jahad Campbell as part of a rush plan to kind of compensate for it. But I do think against the good quarterbacks, you need to be able to rush with 4. And I'm not quite confident that they're there yet.
Just looking at, you know, the leaders on teams that are not very good.
What are you sorting by here? Are you sorting by pressures?
Who do you think I am?
I was trying to. It was like my attempted a gotcha moment. If I caught you sorting by pressures,
I would never do that.
well,
It's like this is like when the people accuse Fran of using AI. You have standards.
No, they accuse you of using AI.
No, they accused him of using AI.
They accuse you too. You've been accused of using AI on the show recently. I do remember this.
Never. And shame on anyone who does. Carl Granderson?
That's probably like the tier.
Jahad Ward? That's not doing anything for you.
Yeah. Jahad Ward, Philly native.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, I don't know.
So
Not
Trey
so hot.
Hendrickson.
Cameron Jordan? He's not going anywhere.
Is it Cameron Jordan or Jordan Cameron?
Jordan Cameron was a player. Do you remember Jordan Cameron?
No.
Oh.
I'm like getting
Tight
like,
end
not
from
familiar with
USC, workout warrior at the combine. Moved his way up the draft boards.
Oh. He seems like my kind
White
of
guy who could jump at the gym.
Yeah.
Not a very good NFL career, but had 1 year that popped, I think.
I feel like this guy's like hairline beard combo is not too dissimilar to what mine would be if I had short hair.
Interesting.
Yeah. I do have some more takeaways from the press conferences if you are interested.
Sure.
But now I have to find them. You know what? I think we actually went through most of them now that I'm going through these. Yeah. I mean, Patullo talked about the run game, but honestly, I think Fran's breakdown was more comprehensive than what he offered on it.
What did he say about AJ?
Oh, yeah, I've got that. AJ and I have a great relationship. Just throughout the years being here, we've spent a lot of time together. So as far as communication and getting to him and I have had no problem. And I know where his heart is, where he lies. He wants to win. So he feels like he can do anything and everything to help us at all times. So as far as I'm concerned, we're in a good spot.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention with Patullo, now that I'm going through these quotes again, he did point to like the fact that they've played 4 very good and very unique defenses at the start of the season as part of the reason they haven't been able to find their identity. I don't know how much stock I put into that, but what I do sort of like I would like to make some space for this too now. I know that's kind of a theme today.
We got to make less space for you making space.
And Fran said no more champagne problems. I don't think that's a me thing, is it?
No.
I don't know if I say it that much. But anyway, I do think that there's something to like they've played defenses that are pretty that like major in one very extreme thing. You know, it's like you're not.
That excuse doesn't fly for me.
Well, it's harder to figure out like what you're going to lean on if you're going up against a team that like kind of takes away a lot of your versatility as an offense by doing something. But I mean, I hear you.
That's a problem you have to solve. I mean, like, what are you going to get to the playoffs and be like, oh no, this defense is good. What are we going to do?
No, I completely agree. That's why I think it's instructive. It's like these are the types of teams you're going to play. You know, Patullo mentioned like that they've played these teams before, like, you know, recently, and that familiarity has played into it. And it's like, well, like, you know, that's just because these are like playoff teams. These are good teams. So,
all right, a little bit more to come on the PHLY Eagles podcast, but unfortunately, it's going to come in overtime. Let's loosen up here for overtime. Get it going.
I don't think I'm doing it.
Nice and comfortable.
Yeah, I guess I got some.
Yeah, give it to the people. Give the people what they want. Let's talk phone favorites. You're considering making a move that
you're going to make me go on record with this.
I'm just saying you're thinking about it.
Now, my favorites have probably remained unchanged for a decade.
Okay, mine
but,
too.
You know, you are. My old job was different in that, like, I talked to a group of people, so you sort of hit different people different days.
Sure.
Now
you didn't like them as much.
Oh, no, I've got a lot of appreciation for all of them. Although my girl Olivia, Cliff's girl Olivia,
I didn't hear like in there.
No, I mean I like all of them. Obviously, you see. Oh, you know what? Now that we're in overtime, I can curse in overtime, right?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what VIc Fangio called Zach Berman today?
No.
Wait,
who is that?
He called him.
Oh, the defense coordinator?
Yeah, ZB.
Okay.
Zach Zerman. He called him a shit stirrer.
Oh my God. I don't know who that person is you're talking about, but it sounds like the kind of person whose day that might ruin.
Because like, listen, I will defend Zach. He was asking about like his time in Denver and his relationship with Sean Payton. And I think Vic was like defensive about it.
You said that Vic was already terse today to begin with.
Yeah. But like, yeah, he was like, what's with you today? Like, but listen, Zach is so far from that. Like, he is like the furthest guy from that description that it was funny.
I don't know.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know the person you're talking about, but from what you're describing, it sounds like someone who might be stirring the pot.
He doesn't stir the pot at all. He was asking insightful questions about a time in VIc Fangio's career that might be informative and
sounds
topical
like,
this week.
You know, clickbait kind of.
It's terrible. Zach, I stand with you. He's not an SS. Yeah, it's just like so bizarre to hear somebody describe him that way. Funny. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, back to the favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm considering making a move.
What an honor that would be.
You'd be like with like literally, it's the 7 people in my life who have been in my favorites since I was probably 18 years old. But honestly, the people in my favorites, like 18-year-old EJ nailed it. Those are the people I call. Those are like I don't.
But do you feel like that's kind of self-fulfilling prophecy? Like those, you put them in the favorites, so they're the buttons you press.
No, okay. I think it's a reflection of like those are the people in my life that have been the constants in my life. Now that's why I probably won't add you, because like I want to look back when I'm 40.
What if you leave?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, not if I leave. You know, and, well, you know,
people have left before.
You sound scarred. It's almost like your co-host, your past co-host, do a podcast together.
Yeah.
But no, I want to look back when I'm 40 and feel the same way about my favorites. So.
Well, I mean, listen, if you don't want to ever change it, then you probably shouldn't change it.
I'm thinking about it though, because I do call you a lot now. I text you a lot, which is painful for me because you do. I've told you, you text like an old millennial. You just hit me.
I'm an old millennial.
Yeah, I know, but you text like it. It's like, okay. Okay. Andrew, come on. That's tough, isn't it? Okay. Like, that's a painful text to get from somebody, especially if you thought what you sent was funny.
Okay is, I am doing something else right now, and I am acknowledging your text.
All right,
essentially.
so you're just blowing me off.
No, I just like, I want to make space for you to feel heard. You know,
Fran says he can confirm that you text like an old millennial.
But I also I got other things going on right now.
See, Fran's a good texter.
The full response when I'm ready to give you the full response.
Fran's a good texter. Fran, he texts. You can read Fran's text in his voice.
Sure. I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Speaking of being washed, Are you familiar with the 6-7 thing?
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
No, that was washed. I learned about 6-7 today. So
What is that?
I don't know if it's worth explaining.
We got to explain it now.
It's like a meme. It's like a Gen Alpha meme. It's like derivative. It like started with like LaMelo Ball. It's like, have you ever seen the things where it's like a normal video and then it cuts to like an athlete doing cool stuff with music behind it?
Maybe.
Okay, well that is what it is, and it's like people saying 6-7, and then it's a song, and it's LaMelo Ball because he's 6'7", like playing basketball.
I don't know if on the show I've ever felt older.
I felt old when I had to look up at what it was. Somebody in the chat's got to know about 6-7. Yeah, see, I see when I need to know something, I text my friend Dan, who's a middle school teacher.
Okay,
because like he's always up on the new lingo. Yeah.
I still don't even understand what we're talking about right now.
I mean, that was the best I could explain it. This is like the washed leading the washed here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, last thing. When is acceptable to put your Christmas lights up? This has been a topic around the studio today.
Acceptable? Day after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. See, Fran knows about it.
He said he's a day ahead of you. He heard about it yesterday.
Oh, okay. All right. See, he's not washed.
I don't go up that early, but I think as long as you wait until the day after Thanksgiving, you're okay.
And you're turning them on that night?
I mean, I would probably think, oh, that's early for that person, but
yeah,
I think that is when it is acceptable.
I'm okay if you're just trying to get it done while it's warm out, I understand it. But for me, I don't like seeing the Christmas lights the day after Thanksgiving. I like to have a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah,
because to me,
I think December 1st is what's
yeah, because to me
standard.
it cheapens Christmas if you try and make it a 2-month holiday.
Growing up, we were the opposite, where most times, no surprise, I've always been a procrastinator.
Oh, me too.
We would get our tree like the weekend before Christmas, like a couple days, but then it would be up until like Valentine's Day.
Okay, so we are on the same wavelength then, because that's how we are. Like we get our tree like December 10th or something, but it'll be like January 20th, and that thing will still be up there.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, tree lasts a while.
Where are you on fake tree, real tree?
So I don't have a sense of smell, so you might think I'm a fake tree guy. Couldn't be further from the truth. My wife gets so annoyed about this too, because she came from a fake tree house, so she thinks the fake tree is practical. It is much cheaper, but the tradition of going to get the tree, sometimes you cut it down, sometimes you just walk around, you pick out the perfect tree. That is special to me. You can't take that away. That's a part of the holiday season. So yeah, I'm a real tree guy through and through. And like, it's like you have memories now. Like our first year in our house, we bought like the biggest tree we thought we could possibly fit in the house, and it was ridiculous. It blocked the TV. Like, yeah, it's like it becomes part of your yearly tradition. I feel like you have to get the real tree. You don't have to, but I like the real tree for that reason.
I have always been a real tree guy, real tree evangelist. However, a couple years ago, you can't win every battle, so we made the move for the the high quality fake tree that can stay in the basement. Part of it is like with the kids. Yeah, and I understand that, and I gotta say, I'm disappointed with how little I mind it.
Okay. You can't.
But I get very like there's like it comes with these the gloves for primping and like because it's it's been locked away for a while. Yeah. So I am really trying. I become a perfectionist about it. Like I really don't want to see the fakeness underneath.
the gloves for primping.
Oh yeah.
I just wouldn't have expected that out of you.
I don't want it to look fake.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. See, like for me, it's not so much looking fake. It's just I don't know. I
agree with you. I think there will come a time when
you should start alternating.
The youngest is old enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you should start alternating.
Well, alternating doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're making your money back by using it.
Yeah.
And eventually you get there.
You don't have to be. I mean, listen, Monarch Money and TrueMark cover your earmuffs, but some things aren't totally about like saving every single dollar you can. You got to enjoy life.
I agree with that.
And the tree is part of that to me. So,
Okay. How about Halloween?
yeah, I don't know why Anthony this morning was talking about. Well, I guess I do, but like it was a convoluted road that they got to the holiday season. Halloween, I like Halloween. I mean,
You going Halloween decorations October 1st?
Probably not. Oh, well, we've got pumpkins out. Yeah, so I guess
Already?
we are. Yeah, Julia.
Oh, wow.
Julia did the pumpkin. My Julia did the pumpkins while I was away.
Spooky.
Yeah, no, I like Halloween, but it's not the same as like cheap. You don't cheapen Halloween by putting pumpkins out early, because like the holiday season like fills you with joy. Like there's a reason that people want to start now, but like I'm telling them, like you gotta let it actually happen first.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, but Halloween's not the same thing to me. We never get trick or treaters. It's really a bummer. We live on a busy road.
Sickos, go to his house on Halloween.
Look for the lawn stripes.
On the October 31st show, EJ's going to give you his address.
You gotta look for the lawn stripes. You haven't asked me about my lawn, but
How's your lawn?
I'd like to tell you that it's great.
Okay.
It's like this is like the best time of year for the lawn. It's the grass starts growing like crazy. It starts greening up. We're gonna aerate and overseed this weekend. You got to time that. You got to time that so perfectly, and I think I got it this year.
Andrew, like a big exhale.
It's a big deal.
It's a big job.
Yeah,
Do something like that.
I'm doing it myself this year.
First time?
It's my first time doing it. Well, the last time we did it, I paid somebody to aerate, and then I did the overseeding. But no, I'm doing it all myself this year. Borrowing a machine from my neighbor. We're gonna get it done. You have to do it before it gets too cold because you don't want the frost to kill the new grass seed. But you don't want to wait. You don't want to do it too early.
And when will you know that this was when you timed it right?
If I make it, I think it's a 6-week germination period.
Okay.
You gotta pray that you don't have too many like frosty nights.
Right.
I've definitely timed it too late before. But I mean, my grass is in good shape, so it's not going to be the end of the world if it doesn't hit. You don't. And the thing that's really like interesting about it is like you don't know if you got it right until the next spring.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Like you just have to wait until the springtime to see if you nailed it or not.
You sprinkle a little Bastian Schweinsteigers all over the place.
I have no idea what that is. Should I know what that is?
We said germinate. So,
Who is that? A tennis player?
No, soccer. Come on.
This guy's not. You know what? I'm gonna sound really not watched right now. This guy's not an icon in FIFA. I don't know who he is.
Oh, come on.
He's not even a hero.
That is not too old for you.
I mean, he played. When did he retire? He's not an icon in FIFA. Then why would I know him? Yeah, you're right. He retired in 2019.
Come on.
I don't claim to be like a long-standing soccer fan. I'm just like an intense new soccer fan. I can pronounce Galatasaray and Andrew can't. My team's not even in the
Andrew under
Champions
the
League.
bus.
Yeah,
Andrew
this
catching
morning.
the stray.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Andrew has caught a couple soccer strays for me today. I'm really salty that Aston Villa aren't in the Champions League. It kills me every Tuesday. I just sit there and stew that Villa are playing in the Europa League.
Tough.
It's painful.
All right. That's it. Sorry. AJ's getting traded. I don't know what to tell you. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. Thank you to Brandon Graham. Thank you to Andrew, even though he can't pronounce Galatasaray.
Hey, Niz is going to be really upset.
Thank you to Fran. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you, EJ. Make sure you're commenting, subscribing,
Yeah, we're
all
almost
that
to 50K.
good stuff. And I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mina Kimes joins the show. Jamie and Rich, EJ from the NovaCare Complex, all that good stuff. And we roll on with the dramatic, undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.